All right, we got a couple of shows in this week. Everything's starting to wrap up. All the final big moments coming. And I don't know. Yeah, it's some of the episodes were definitely pretty nuts this week. Ranks and timestamps to all the individual episode rankings right at the end if you want to avoid spoilers. And if not, we're getting right into it. I don't even think we ate the melon, did we? We just kind of talked about it. I'm not 100% sure. I mean, he says he's gonna learn magic, and he gets, I don't know, to hang out with his brother and some other guy. And the brother feeds him a cookie. Why? I've seen this a couple times in subtitles. Why is it bias instead of, like, idol or Oshi? Or, yeah, I don't know. I've never, whatever. Okay. They got, put in a maze, basically like an escape the room adventure, finding keys. This villain, I really don't know. They've invested a lot into that maze, it seems. Just without elaborate. Yeah, whatever. And then they fight a tree. I guess the other aspect of this show that is kind of in the formula is like new gadgets and whatever. So that's kind of cool. I think my favorite one was the gummy translator that I forgot to mention in that one episode where they got to talk to a cat. But yeah, that's all I got. Yeah, this episode I guess felt a little bit more watchable than some of the other ones. I don't know why. I guess maybe it felt like there was a little more romance stuff going on, but honestly, about the same level that there's been. I was like, if this was the first episode, I feel like going forward, I could maybe get into this show, but I don't know. I don't know. It's not doing it for me. Is this girl who's, like, gonna be his new co-advisor, I think? Is she the student that he, like, messed up because he's trying to help them and then things got worse or something? That's my guess. Rabbit still has probably the most interesting story going on out of any of the characters, in my opinion. Just because I think I would, I bet you could easily create a whole TV show about how a woman's rabbit even got to the point of not even just a woman's rabbit, a woman's stuffed rabbit got to the point of entering a school to fully become human, even though they're like anthropomorphically human with some rabbit ears at this point. There's a celebration party for the wolf as she leaves. I guess we're not getting the split. Well. Someone finally fails the 3 checks. That was, yeah. The Paralactic is fighting against the Paralactic. I didn't even really know that was possible. And then they both, he defeats the one guy, and then he doesn't have any more energy to keep going, so he gets wiped too, I guess. I must not fully understand it, because I just feel like everybody completely disappearing. Yeah, they're just treating it very casually. So maybe there's maybe they know some way to get him back at the end of all this or something. I don't know. So, yeah, I guess I don't know why I didn't really think that them spending a night together wouldn't lead to more flirty scenes. And that part, yeah. But I thought the teddy bear was interesting. And as soon as the teddy bear showed up in, like, the underground space, I just started thinking, I was like, oh, I bet, like, the landlady knows to some extent who can make Kimmy, how she, I imagine she knew her before she lost her memory, and then after she cleans it, she goes to the bathhouse and sees the landlady, and I was like, all right, this is kind of feeding into my narrative idea, I think. And then I was like, if everybody in this show, in a sense, kind of knew her to an extent, previously, and they're all just kind of, I don't know, something along that line, or just more of the characters actually knew her and like are trying to help her after she's lost her memory, but like are not letting her know that like they knew her. And if that was all explained well, I feel like this could be interesting. But I'm also kind of tired of trying to assume this show will be better than it is, because it hasn't really proven that to me yet. The animation is nice, and like every now and then it's like got good vibes, so I feel like I don't know. I can't help but feel like Ryo, Nasty, and then the other guy are all from like the original show, and I can't help but feel like this is just like a super annoying story to give these characters, and just like, because I feel like she's done so much damage and I get it was to save him, but yeah, I don't know, it's like, I mean, maybe it'll all get reversed or something somehow and then we'll be fine or whatever, but and they like reusing these shots from the very first episode and getting their money worth out of that animation. But like, that all happened because she's been trusting the demon, and like, she said like, you said you wouldn't come this soon, but like, what was he gonna do later? You know? Alright, it's kind of more of the same. I guess, there's a mention of him being the first person in a while to tame all 4 of the gods or something. And he stops a eunuch from escaping with the papers, who could read, I guess, so they're not supposed to read. It was Prince Albert, and he just be doing shady stuff, but yeah, it seems like our main character is just doing everything they can to still, like, let them, I mean, yeah, but he's doing a coup now, so we'll see how that turns out. Okay, so I guess the hammer guy was originally a flame baiter. He takes down his guy, and the blue-haired guy takes down red-haired guy. Pretty simply, too. Not much fanfare. We get some backstory fanfare, but... So all of 1A, I guess, has been eliminated, except for the ice guy. They're going after him, but then he's been got by the sad ghost. So I guess he's dead? They just seem to treat death pretty casually. Yeah, none of his classmates seem. I mean, maybe they don't realize? I don't know. That felt like the ending to a first cour. I mean, it was fine. Stopped the people from kidnapping Asha for the tournament, or the beauty pageant and the race. They win the competition through the race with Asha, or it's not Asha, with our main girl as the anchor, and yeah, they keep they keep sleeping in the same bed, and he doesn't really like know what's going on. and he also keeps referring to her as he. I mean, like, obviously in person, but like in his own thoughts, which I think is, I don't know. Has he been doing that? I mean, I know he did a couple episodes ago, but I guess it's sweet. It's just like, it's a strange concept for me to wrap my head around, and like, yeah. It was fine. Okay. We see the backstory of why this guy is annoyed and wants to cause fires. His daughter died in a firework accident. Firefighters were admittedly pretty worthless. We didn't think there'd be we didn't prepare water at the fireworks festival. I don't know. But also, like, was he not the firework maker? And like, was he not... he knew this kid wanted to make the red firework, and it is just at no point in between then and him setting it off he was like, how did nobody stop him? And I'm like, are you not the one who would stop him? So yeah, they're gonna burn down Ito. They got the leader of our firefighter group arrested. I think they're starting to split up now that he's out and in jail. They're not really able to help with the fires either. Everybody thinks they're setting them. But yeah, somebody just died, and they want his help. I mean, it's interesting. Okay, yeah. We get our homeboy gets some healing. It wasn't as intense as I thought it might be, but what was oh yeah, the other guy might have was very close to almost doing what was necessary to heal him, but Aresh showed up right at the last second to put a stop to that, And the ball of miasma was a little more intentional than they thought. And they have an idea of who did it. Our main character thinks it's to potentially cover up the embezzlement, but he says that doesn't fully make sense of why he was attacked. And I guess Aresh gets jealous over how he's treating this kid. Could do without that. But I guess the treatment is fine to want to be treated like that. I don't know. Oh boy. We officially got a love triangle. Confessed, or the third prince confessed. I think he only bothers me because he only really started doing anything after he realized that she's got someone that she likes and is with. I'm annoyed at her for having taken the free time to hang out with him instead of the other guy after, she said she would let him know if her time freed up. I get it, but also, like, he's made it clear, too, that, like, he's jealous of this guy. She's very particular, but I also don't feel like she's given that same, whatever. Yeah, it's I don't know. It's a show I probably wouldn't watch on my own. I'd be curious how many attempted murders have happened in this show, because I feel like it's a larger number than I probably even think. Yeah, a lot of crime in Digimon World. I mean, maybe I don't know. I keep wanting to compare it to Pokemon, but I really I did not watch that much Pokemon either. I remember Team Rocket, but they didn't seem like super criminals. It was like they're like literally commanding. I don't even know if they're kids, because she was a researcher, but like just commanding them to take out members that disobeyed them, commanding them to be a shield and like fight till the death. It's comically evil bad guys, but not so comical these days. Okay. He keeps getting into high velocity kisses that I just feel like would leave one of them with a chipped tooth at least, or something. But misunderstanding between blue-haired girl and red-haired girl was, I guess, funny for once I got what was going on. I was like, wait, what? She was there? Yeah, whatever. And then, yeah, so I guess the confession was that they kissed, but they want to remain friends, so maybe it's heading towards, like, a harem, but I also don't know. Him just turning into, like, I don't even know what kind of character that is. I know I've seen it before, but puppy dog mouth, or cat mouth. I guess being super sparkly is how they described it, but not into rom-com stuff. So I guess they're all gonna band together to get him. Okay, so there will be a next episode, which makes sense. This isn't a spot to necessarily leave off on. I mean, you could probably, but Kunan is approached by different women to join the factions, and he says yes to all of them. So that almost starts a fight. And then they're like, all right, who are you gonna choose? And he's like, all right, all of you. It's just, I don't know if, I guess this time it will work. Wrote a letter to his fiance. She's a little upset that he made a lady friend. To be fair, he is basically, anytime a lady is around, I'm using lady because that's the term he used. Because I don't know. Anyways, anytime there's a lady around, he's immediately set to flirt. And yeah, he doesn't accept one of the proposals from what would have appeared to maybe been a woman, but referred to as a he, at least by one character. So I don't know if that's just like cross-dressing or MTF or FTM transition. And so Kunan can tell. I felt like I was getting called out a little bit by that one character that's just kind of laughing always and looks super tired. It was overall, I've been, yeah, it's good. Some very casual flirting going on always. Don't know how much that will impact the plot, but it's been relatively funny. I'll take it. Just mostly I guess, I don't know, is it funny? It's a little heartfelt with the backstory of the brothel owner. She looks good with short hair. Hajime got the Saitama look, thanks to Riri. And yeah, save the brothel woman from Spider. Nothing off this one. So let's continue with that. I mean, I get an icky feeling watching this, but it's I guess it's interesting. I find Pearl kind of annoying. I definitely missed the first quote unquote heroine, but yeah, I still just does not give a fuck. She's like, oh no, don't drink it at the last second after he's already gulped it down. and she's like crying, and as soon as he like actually shows that love interest, she's like, you know what? I can deal with this. I'm fine. I'm taking your man in front of you after I told you I drugged him for it. That's wild. I don't know. Yeah. So there's that. I am liking the vibes of this group more and more. They just, yeah, I mean, it definitely does feel like a harem, which is interesting in, I guess, this adventure group setting where it feels like more mature, I guess, a little bit at times. Maybe that's why it's been so boring at times. But it's gotten a lot better. And I just didn't fully understand this show in the beginning. I think. I still don't really fully know. But we deal with people who've been stealing goods and selling it to Adventure, or selling it through the Adventurers Guild. We get them to confess on themselves. I think Red Guy is a part of the team now, officially-ish. If not, he's basically there. Stud Kun had an interesting few lines there at the end in terms of why he cares about the main character. And yeah, yeah. Well, another kingdom is attacking. They tried to get our boys' town, but they were not ready for the defenses. The main kingdom also gets attacked. Scudette. And they, Van helps out, doesn't want to, but as a noble has to. And, they're good. I figured the marionette would be a good warrior, but I kind of thought she would use it to, like, control like a lot as like an army. I didn't expect the one marionette to just be really strong, so that's cool. Van's father's hearing about his accomplishments. His brother's happy, but his father's in disbelief. And King's talking about changing how they look at magical properties, or how they value them, and made some catapults for the fight. Gonna take back the kingdom because they all abandoned it this time, but going back to reclaim it. Seems like it will be a packed final episode. We got Orun and Sophia and their group going into floor 92, face off against the dragon. And then we got the kids going into floor 30. They're doing well, make it to the boss thing. And then forgot about Orun's childhood friend turned evil group. I'm sure she doesn't know she's being evil, but they're also like totally fine just wrecking these kids. So yeah, maybe she's a bit evil. And then the dragon, I guess, is restoring. Are they not gonna just like pull out and like dip and help the kids or something? Like, well, they're not gonna take the whole dragon on. But at least Orun knows that they're in trouble. That the observer got sliced. Poor guy. Anyways. Okay. I guess the demon lord shows up, and some other people are attacking her. The half dragons. And gray-haired girl's got a past with, I guess, these creatures. Probably took out some of her loved ones. So she kind of goes off the rails a bit, screws up their teamwork. Main guy gets his leg slashed and arm slashed a bit, so now he's got to give proper commands to the three in order for them to survive. So, I mean, it's doing the teacher thing all right. It's fairly brutal every now and then, but it feels so, I don't know, just like slow. if that's the word. It's just everything, all of the moments just feel very long and drawn out for the most part, as opposed to, yeah, whatever. All right, we get a school trip episode. Of course, we got some people left behind. I mean, it is funny, though, that everybody immediately realizes they're missing, but I guess they send one teacher after them, kind of, but they just kind of keep going along the trip, and they eventually catch up, save a hitchhiker, use telescope eyes, I don't know, but then they make it back to the inn, and then he's hungry, they're all hungry because they haven't eaten, and they missed dinner, so they try to get out to this 5-star ramen shopping cart, and it's just a tactical fortress that they have to escape through. Lose one member at a time in order to get out there. Finally makes it, and then gets caught by the teacher who was originally sent out to get them. Yeah, it was like a good amount of wacky and not crazy annoying. I think overall an enjoyable episode. Alright, moving in together. Getting used to sleeping in the same bed. Yeah, they're cute. I feel like something happened at the office. Oh, the Lynx, I guess, is thinking about maybe she got feelings for the lizard. The other guy helped out his partner with get evidence or something. And then they go to visit her parents. Yeah, we get most of the interaction is fine. But there is a brother who's a little overprotective of his sister, and I was a little afraid it was gonna be like Spy X Family levels of brother love. It didn't seem that bad. He's definitely way more low key, but I'm not really looking forward to any more situations with that character. So fun stuff. Okay. I feel like I take a point for kind of being right about them using that character again right at the end. They even put him back in the OP. But I do kind of feel like it wasn't that interesting of a use for that character. I just was immediately like, wasn't he like, didn't he die like way after her father like did the whole thing? And yeah, it never really made sense to me. I was like, okay, yeah, clearly this is somebody else. And I guess it was Vlad the Impaler out sending paintings, which makes him connected to all of the different crimes, I guess, just inspiring bloodlust. I mean, it's entertaining. It's relatively fun. Frankenstein continues to be my favorite character, raising the dead at Vlad's castle to give them some support. And little Red's there. She got attacked, so I'm going to help her out before getting Vlad kidnapped Arne, so going to get him. This one kind of got me. I think because it's this show, I at one point I was thinking, like, this is, like, an interesting story, and I wonder, like, if it would be hitting harder if I knew that she didn't survive it necessarily, blah, 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 since she's telling the story to the kids as they're all out at the beach. And I remember thinking at one point, too, I was like, she still kind of looks the same age, even though it seems like a decent amount of time it was passed. He doesn't have the demon hand at all back in this story. They did it well in terms of, I didn't see her being a ghost of his student, and they finally got to walk the beach together, I guess. Yeah, maybe it's when I think about it too much, I'm like, I just start getting into questions and like, well, why is it now, and how did she actually send a letter, and blah blah blah. Maybe it's an old letter, although it was a little hard listening to her screams of pain over and over. That was because, the voice actress was giving it her all. And, just had to wait till night showed up, I guess. So, like, it was a good episode for this show. Emotional. It was wrapping up, and I was just kind of thinking about the show as a whole. It was very sweet. And this episode, I'll say, it was nice to see her get through the speech. And I guess, Jahi, I guess, has kind of been the one mostly that I guess has also kind of, in a sense, resisted Dew's kindness. and just she's like the active one now at this point, trying to get her to still be evil. But the show, I think, does kind of need that if it's going to continue forward. And I didn't really think about that, but I was as I was reflecting on the show, just thinking about like, oh, I wouldn't probably watch this kind of show on my. I definitely wouldn't have in the past. Even going forward, I don't know if I would necessarily pick up this show on my own. I'm really glad that I did watch this one. I wouldn't know how to distinguish like this kind of show from like a Star Precure, and even this show was still like just felt very not for a 25-year-old man at times. At the same time, I don't know. It was really cute. So like while I wouldn't probably pick up another show like this, I might watch season 2 if it gets to season 2, which it seemed like it was hinting at. And it's like it does have some interesting plot going on, like here and there. The heaven saying they're gonna abduct Du seems So I don't know. Check it out if you're feeling like you want something more on the adorable side. There's a couple little weird moments, but this show's pretty good in terms of that. At least from what I'm seeing this anime season. Alright, before I forget to mention it, the emotional abuse song showed up for the 3rd time, I think. And then it all, I guess, kind of ended up rounding out, but like making it kind of like a point, showing it 2 times with the crow being emotionally abusive and then his master being emotionally abusive to him, the bird magician. But it was an interesting episode. They escaped the white magician, which I didn't realize that love was poisonous to the black witches. Like, that seems like that sucks. Or like, is it just like it just lowers their abilities? Are they Hancock? Anyways, they escape to the bird magician's lair. The wind magician keeps threatening to kill Lizzie. Lizzie's like grappling with their emotions of like they need to have their poison purged, but they keep shrinking and they want to grow. And he realizes that the witch has got a thing for this guy, Henry. And what episode? This is 11, isn't it? I have no idea what. Alright. Okay, that was kind of interesting. He wasn't being bad enough to unlock the plague dragon tree. That's why their tree evolution sucked. But Gregory kind of feels like I don't know how Gregory pulled that out, but he was like, kill me, you'll become stronger. So the dragon did that, and he's big now, took out the rock dragon, but they know that he killed Gregory, so there's some people not happy about it, and his poison seems stronger, struggling to be around Miria. I think his plan is just to leave her alone. And he seems done with it all, but I feel like little Black Lizard was scampering up to him right before the credits ended. So we'll see. Maybe they evolved. Well, we got a fairly sweet episode. Happiness wants to tell red-haired guy that she's a monster. It goes over well, but the show makes us think maybe for a second that it didn't. I do kind of think the main character was valid in chaining them up as retaliation for having tried to beat them up right after they, confessed their love for each other. And Cecilia's still putting off telling him about the marriage proposal thing. He's going to be going away for 3 weeks, I guess, with Yuga. Is that the hero guy, I think? And, I was thinking either the guy that she's supposed to marry is the red-haired guy that, was messing with them all a couple episodes back when our main character had to go, full demon mode. I was thinking either he is the one, he's gotten himself in a position where Cecilia's supposed to marry him, or whatever adventure that our main character goes on with Yuga, they run into him there. But I'm leaning more towards the marriage. Well, that was darker than I thought it would be for a while. I kind of figured they would all get brought back, but still, bro had to take out each one of his homies. And then luckily our girl can teleport for a half a second. I did kind of laugh though when she just stumbles into cutting off her friend's head, which I guess was the vampire that bit her. So then she dies too. It was just I was like, damn, these guys are like, I don't know how they're gonna get out of this, and then. But yeah, and I guess the lycanthrope, yeah, he's got the blood of Vargas, which she needs to drink or something. And looks like Dardon. Still think that's a dumb name, but Dardon is he found him. Well, we've taken down some orc settlements, goblin settlements, getting caught by the King's Knight, or the Baron's Knight, and his sidekick. I don't know what he is, but they help out beat the first orc settlement when it looks like our boy is going down, but 2 weeks later he's got the hang of it and knows how to do it all himself, and he keeps the secret with the guy, but apparently the Baron already knows that he has a talent. And then we get in the beginning, Mihai showed up, or the brother, and they had one last battle. And then he was like, I gotta go off, and I won't be back for a while. Gotta fulfill the noble's duty. Main character's like, that sounds ominous. And I kind of thought he might die. I didn't think it would be this episode that they would come back with, 6 months. He did his duty and was laid to rest. So, yeah, it seems like getting involved with nobles, rough stuff ahead. Well, I wasn't expecting, I guess, the king to have been the evil that was behind everything in order to save his wife, or Eden. I don't know if it's his wife technically. But yeah, sacrificed billions for that. And other guys were just kind of going along with it. I mean, they're upset now that they found out. Other than that, Siren's trying to get some energy. Well, the other guy tries to give his life for her, but she's like, nah, just give me enough energy for a song, and then I'll dip. Yeah. So, solid. Okay, so apparently blonde girl is not who she says she is, but I don't really know how that makes a difference in what, it's interesting, I guess, but maybe it'll help explain how she knows. She said the gold guy. I think is she talking about Gilgamesh? Pretty sure. I guess they don't really know he got hit pretty hard, although it doesn't seem like he's out completely. We got the green-haired girl helping him out, and looks like Zabanir woman, and I don't know if he's a kid, but the young guy, military guy. I think did they die? Did they, are their bodies decomposing? Or are they, because they're, special, did they just get, sucked into that world? Because I thought everything that gets sucked into that world died. And then there's some mystery god helping out. Who is she helping out? Oh, it was the little girl. Yeah, I realized I don't actually know what you win if you win the Holy Grail. And I do feel like this season is more about the conflict of protecting this girl who's summoned a dangerous entity. Protect her, kill her. I feel like that, along with just the fights in general. I don't know. Yeah. Well, so no confirmation on really anything for blonde girl, and then I guess the knights too. Maybe if you get got, you can get brought back in some way. I don't know. With this show, I'm not sure. Maybe they're gone. Maybe Eterna's gone because I think she was about to get got by the eyeballs. Flum was doing some investigating, and she was kind of getting there. She's learning some spell, I think, too. But yeah, Eterna and Milkit go off, and then I guess she washes Milkit back to the home, and Flum is just this kind of bothered me. Milkit's like, oh my god, like you gotta help turn it, and Flum is just like, oh my god, you're soaked. Like, hold on, let me get you a towel, and just like meanders over to the bathroom, gets a towel, meanders back, and then Milkit's gone, and then she runs out, and Eterna's gone, and now she's sad and alone. Did somebody show up right there at the end? Oh, yeah. And then, she goes in and back to the house, and Ink's there with her face missing, and the spiral there just plopping out eyeballs. I wasn't ready for that. Because, we get her sad backstory, but they do, they said that she was implanted with some crystal or something, so maybe this is, against her will, and she doesn't, but maybe, she probably knows it happens, right? I don't know. I realize I gotta be better about not, because, I can't even hear it. Yeah, I mean, cool fights and stuff. We were waiting for a little bit in the beginning, just for them to even show up, I guess, which they did. I don't really know how. They just don't really have a plan for this guy who can telekinetically hold you against the wall and choke one person and allow the other person to only move their trigger finger. I mean, this guy's just he's devoted to his god, Millions Knives, who just got a new makeover and is looking rather metallic. For a plant. Maybe it was they heard the thing about their hair and they're like, I ain't getting no more black hairs. I guess he did make Vash choose to shoot in that situation. I don't know if bro is still alive. And I don't know if momentum works like that. But whatever. Well, this episode was good. It was basically just all fights. I totally kind of didn't realize she would get the cloning ability, which I thought would be rough, but it really, it did not seem like an issue. I mean, a bit here and there, and she's getting a little bit better at it, but the team up, I guess, was solid. We get the sister coming in, we get grandma and one of her daughters, I think, or maybe her granddaughter. We get... Does it count as a 360 no-scope if you... if you get a headshot from America and they're in Japan? Or like your target is in Japan? Is that... I feel like that counts. Maybe it's gotta make it all the... I don't know. That was pretty funny. Taking that out. She was like, that was everything I... Yeah. I don't... She was... Apparently that was the ace in the hole. Yeah, she kind of lost a little bit of her aura this episode. She gained it for a little bit, and then she's been kind of just getting her butt whooped. And now Yuki's gonna pull out his trump card, the heavenly form, gold, whatever. Yeah. So, that'll be cool. Man, packed episode. I don't even really remember where we started. I guess I had to rewind so many times too, just to feel like they went to the docks and they fought because they discovered that there were grenades and stuff being hidden there. Deborah, she escapes. She captures a small child. Was gonna offer, but gets stabbed by the guy who sells carpets, I think. And he's in on the bad organization stuff for sure, but he has a no kids rule at least, for death, I guess. I don't know but anywho, we got the dude gets poisoned by he says he reveals that he knew all along, and he's been playing her in some way, but then he immediately dies or gets poisoned, and what was he doing ever? And there's a lot of planning and behind the scenes stuff kind of being a little more explained. But yeah, and then Constance Grail. She admits to being a person involved with the kidnapping of the prince, so she's arrested for that. But I guess that potentially gets the name out there, and then breaks off the engagement with Ulster. And they're kind of sweet together at this point. But yeah. Well, I'm glad the sheriff is on our side. He's protecting Lucy while she's getting followed and trying to meet with Charlie, the government lady, or the official. I don't know exactly what she is. She wants to set up Charlie with a new family. Lucy's not very happy about it. But yeah, the sheriff offers to adopt Charlie, and he takes Charlie in. He talks it over with his wife. She seems pretty cool. Everybody knows now that he's got Charlie, and looks like it's gonna be an awkward day at work. But that's where we end. So I don't know where I get worried, I guess, like for the sheriff and his wife now. I'm just like, man, they're gonna, I don't know. It's hard when it's like a realistic scenario and you're facing entire governments and police forces and terrorist organizations. What do you do? Poor Charlie. Okay, I don't feel like Captain Celebrity is gonna die anymore. He had his moment of falling and giving into the moment, but Koichi jumped for him. He's trying to save him. Admittedly, they are looking in a rough situation. Guys just detonating even more bombs. We get the backstory of how he and of Captain Celebrity and his wife met, which was entertaining, I guess. It was an interesting piece to his character. And yeah, Koichi's learning how to use their powers a little more. They're shooting and sticking, and I guess figure it all out next time. Are we not getting any backstory on O'Clock and the other guy? Or Knuckles? I mean, Knuckles is O'Clock, but like, are we not, maybe he'll end up getting, like, all the heroes will end up working to save the situation, and Knuckles will come in and nail the quick guy in the last moment, maybe killing him. That would be my guess. Well, honestly, their plan has gone a lot smoother than I would have thought would. A lot smoother than I would have thought it would have gone. That's a better way to say that. Yeah, we get a nice, pretty quick but pretty sick fight between Rika and Tackle. Yeah, the old man's still continuing at it, but to no prevail. I feel kind of bad for laughing at it, but she can. She clearly can hold her own, so I don't know. It's She looks good though, Brolic. All the characters look good. That is one of the things is, yeah, everybody's very attractive. Certain figures is what, I don't know, whatever. I've already said this before. I'm trying to do this quick and I'm making this so long. Anyways, yeah, they fight. He gets his homeboys back with a single punch of love, and then they remember their homie. And yeah, we get everybody out, evacuated with fire, cause a little chaos, do a double kick, bam, into the night. We'll see how it ends. I don't know. It's not. I don't think it's. Isn't it? But we'll see. Oh, this has been a good show. Kind of a heartfelt episode. The finishing off the battle of attrition. I mean, that was pretty interesting. But yeah, we get a little into their feelings about the loss of their friend to this gender bender, and he's willing to die to take it out. If they both die, he wins. Those are his words. But she convinces him, after seeing the ghost of their friend, to let it be. Gonna take a while for them to heal and go rejoin the other people. And looks like Gabimaru is I don't know if that's supposed to be like earlier when he got thrown up against the post, or if that's like something new. I'm assuming that's from earlier, and then now we'll go back into the story and he'll pull some trick out of his keister. Singing got me in this episode too. Yeah. This episode kind of made me feel like I wish red-haired girl was the one he's looking for. Just because her describing the story definitely could have applied to him if she was the girl. But part of me does feel like it's for her friend. But at the same time, I don't even know how many more episodes there are. Is it 1, 2? I don't know. This has been a good watch. I've enjoyed the mystery, and all the characters have been fun and interesting, and got to see them grow. Very cool. Well, Kaya's still feeling worried about just facing ghosts since that guy, she couldn't do anything about him. But her aunt gives her a talisman, and that helps her out when her friends are getting attacked by a hide-and-seek ghost. Quick side note, is the red-haired girl voiced by the same actress that voices Dew in The Demon King's Daughter? I thought I heard it for like half a second where I was like, that's Dew. Alright, whatever. But yeah, the rest of this show, I mean, it's good. It's creepy. It's interesting. Mom's still kind of being a little unsettling, but it's not terrible. Yeah, I think the other guy is kind of realizing that she's okay. I don't know why she's such a big concern if she can't harm humans. Like, if she was putting her all into hitting that one guy and nothing happened, like, what can she really do against people? That would be a concern. But yeah, the aunt, I guess. And I love every time she calls her Obananana. Obanonana? I don't know, yeah, whatever. It's, yeah. like little smile. But she figures out that, or she learns that the mother also is pregnant again. And that apparently shouldn't be able to happen. Goes to check on her, gets attacked. And she was fine, but she's like, I should be dead. And then gets a call, and her mother died. Which I guess, yeah, Kaya's grandma. So, things are going down. I have no idea what is. Yeah, but good show. A lot of planning this episode. A lot of getting the right manpower and approval for manpower. And dragon power. Just, lady looks tired. I think at the end she finds out that her uncle is also probably blighted or something. Working for him somehow. Then we got, what do we got? They're starting to, the blight is coming in. But they planned pretty well. Not well enough, because this guy is just coming in and wrecking shop. Yeah, it's it's looking rough. It's just such a positive show. And it kind of like allows it to kind of keep doing here's the couple meeting for the first time and like falling in love. They do it well with the other characters. It all happens pretty differently, and yeah, the dynamics are interesting for each pair. I feel like every episode I'm relating more to the Azuma, silver-haired girl, just in her self-analysis that doesn't necessarily lead anywhere. I bet she'll be a little more successful with it in this show. And yeah, I feel like we are starting to see. I get the idea of Suzuki's flaws. I feel like she gets in her head a bit too, and also she hides her emotions a little bit. I mean, they both do that. It's just, she's really the shining light of the show that can be a little overwhelming. I like this show, and makes me feel like I'm. No, I shouldn't say that. It reminds me of just being in high school, and I have no idea what I'm trying to say here. I just am trying to say that it feels like the progression is real, because like while we are introducing it to new relationships, like, theirs is growing slowly, and it's like, it's gonna have its little bumps here and there, and yeah. I gotta end this before I start talking too long. I thought this was a pretty sweet episode. The backstory between Natsuki and the teacher. It was sweet little meeting, and them getting to get along, her family taking him in, them starting to go out. And then his dad piece of it was sad to know that she didn't get she's very clearly still capable of all the judo, I guess, but hope she's still got her dream kind of in some way. And yeah, almost teared up a little bit when she sent the message saying, "I'm still watching you, get yourself together." And again, these idol relationships, they just seem rough. Yeah, she won't even talk to him, just to, I guess, because idols don't need to be hanging out with their exes. So at this point, she's kind of like just an older of our main character. But they're funny, and Face is coming to their school for the cultural festival, I guess, and that'll be our finale, I think, unless this is not 12 episodes. The music for some reason is like, yeah, when it's hitting the end and I know it's ending, like this episode, I was feeling like a sad emotion. And I don't know what it was. I mean, it specifically, I guess the idea of, Ruby acting as her mother in the film to portray her death, and then Aqua using that to find the real murderer or get back at him in revenge, who is their biological father. Just, it as I say it out loud, I personally understand why I might be feeling a little way about it. But, interesting episode. Got an audition between the three girls, Frill, who was the classmate, and then Ruby and Akane. Arima, Aqua's just kind of using her and taking advantage of the fact that she likes him, I think. I think that's what that one scene implied. So we're definitely back in the darkness, which is interesting, but also I guess I'm realizing I did appreciate some of the lighter moments earlier. But yeah, interesting. Okay, we get 2 Demon King little shorts this episode. That was nice. We get the return of, I forget his name. I want to say like LeBrouche. But yeah, he's made a new spell or magic this time that only lets him interact with those pure of heart. And it's like a very extreme pure of heart. So obviously he cannot even touch the princess to wake her up. Nobody can see him, not even his soldiers. And the only one that can see him is the Demon King. So that was funny. And then we got Torture, just her trying to not fall asleep, which I get. And then her dad, who just wanted to see her, I guess. She moved out 3 weeks ago. And then that final Demon King, where it's just him trying to have a conversation and giving play-by-play of how well he's doing. And it seemed familiar. But yeah, I don't know, maybe I'll find some yellow-haired man. Or, I don't know, what to talk with anime about. Whatever. This season is very brutal at times with some of the deaths depicted. Just very realistic, I guess, and graphic. But yeah, we're continuing to fight. Get a little backstory about Hijikatu Nishba, the old guy. Yeah, the Suramichi's armies got the cannons taken out. Fortifications, they can't level it because of the deed, luckily. But they got a cannon up on a hill, and they do a lot of damage with it. They take out all the ships, basically, and the balloon. I mean, they get blown up in the end. I mean, at least 2 of them, I think. But we're protecting the fort. Still don't, I still don't really know how they're going to get all the gold out. They'd have to either, get everybody or cause a retreat or something? I don't know. Yeah, curious how it's all gonna wrap up. Well, I didn't cry this time, but I feel like I want to. It's just so sad. Like, I think it basically seems like everyone, except for our main girl and the homicidal maniac, are dead. Green-haired girl who definitely was flawed, but yeah, seemed to have it pretty rough. We lose the older rabbit who was on, number 95, number 96. Yeah, I think basically anybody we saw. And part of me is like, how? But I guess, there were no weapons. I mean, I just think about how messed up this game was from the get-go. Because if she wasn't there, it just would have been kind of a newbie slaughter, it seemed. And now that she is there, it's just an everybody slaughter. I feel like I've only really now just kind of thought about, between this episode and the last one, thought about the fact that it's all just girls and women. I'll be curious how this show ends, just because I don't I don't know what it's, I mean, it's definitely saying something interesting, because I feel like I can show every scene that just makes my stomach drop, because they've got the in-universe explanation of all the gore is, in a sense, censored. All the blood gets turned into that white whatever as soon as it leaves their body. And that's all for the viewers in-world. And then, in a sense, it can get a wider audience in our real world. I just, I don't know, man. Death games and depression. Okay. We're pivoting gears a little bit. Instead of the triple Lutz, we're going quadruple Salco. And it is, I don't really, I couldn't explain the difference. And I still don't know if I've mentioned, if I have, whatever, that I finally watched the Alyssa Liu skating competition. And definitely, due to this show, I felt like I could appreciate it even more. Because, they do such a good job of explaining the mental and physical tasks or obstacles to overcome while learning to skate and do these crazy jumps. And our both of our characters are really motivated, and I think that's really endearing. But it was interesting as I was thinking about it, we have a scene of her just hyping herself up, I gotta push it, gotta get it, and then she messes up again still, and it's rough. But her coach comes in and is like, if you want it too badly, you won't be able to get it. And he's like, what were you just thinking? And she was like, I was just thinking, I gotta get this jump, I've gotta get this, or I've gotta land it. So then he was like, yeah, jump not necessarily with the intention of succession or success, but with the intent of learning the most from each jump. And that mindset lets her land it. Whatcha! We're coming for you. Hikari, whatever her name is. Yeah, we'll see. I kind of feel like if they're not expecting her to do a quadruple, she's gonna do a quadruple. So we'll see. Okay, we're in the race, and boy in blue spins out like a loser. Messes up the German and our boy, so they gotta wait to rejoin the race. Our boy is able to join it first, and then the German right behind him. Blue guy's all the way in last. So maybe Iba will place in the top 3 this time. I mean, maybe. I don't know. It's still, it's hard to imagine where exactly this will go. Because we got the rookie in the yellow car up in front. We got the girl in the Aston Martin who wants Kanata back in her life up right behind him. The girl in the 18, the sister, she's doing well to keep up right behind Kanata and the German. It's cool that Kanata and the German are working together. Kind of able to communicate with the way they're driving in terms of not worrying about passing, but just getting back up to the front right now with both of them. And then Blue Guy, I guess he passed one guy in last, so he's not all the way in last. But yeah, exciting. It's gonna just if it ends next episode, it's definitely gonna be a brutal cliffhanger, I feel. But we're used to that with this show. Man, there's a lot going on. Got all the doppelgangers coming out. Salaryman's was weaker. Joker's was stronger, but Captain Burns, I guess, merged with his doppelganger in Adola and came back and then helped him out. And then XOI guy, he is his was way weaker, which I guess was crazy to everybody because everybody really thought he was the strongest and blah blah blah. And I don't mean to blah blah blah. It was cool. I'm a little out of it. There was the moon falls. Shinra pushes it back up. That was because Fairy, I guess, did that, but they died. That was like their dying move, so pointless. They Sho and Shinra go up to Adola, meet Hameya. That was she's different now, I guess. Oh, and we learn that the sister is the doppelganger of the girl in Amaterasu. Eris is the doppelganger. So that's kind of wild. I don't even really... yeah, I don't know what that means. Yeah, she was about to say something, too, when Eris was suggesting she goes out and live in the real world. Yeah. It's something. I'm not gonna lie. I teared up a bit. I think because it was such a sweet moment of them together and kind of accepting whatever fate, I guess, was coming. And I didn't really know fully sure what fate, but it sounded like they, yeah. I guess I'm still a little confused because are they not still in the other universe? It doesn't really necessarily feel like she actually completed the loop yet. Maybe she's going to. I mean, I'm assuming this is the actual end. But then there was like that little post-credit snippet of him smiling. Him smiling. And I've definitely misgendered Setsu, so that is my bad. I need to be better at saying them. But yeah, it was... Yeah, I don't know. They connected the Karishka dots. So I guess they sent out Manan in her body, and that's why she's a homicidal maniac every now and then in the other universe. Yeah, they're just closing a lot of... But then, like... Yeah, which Setsu gave Yuri the first silver, whatever the memory thing is. I enjoyed this, but I am confused. Well, that almost felt like it could be a finale. I don't think it is, but yeah. Yeah, the knockers are intriguing to me. Just seems like they gave up real quick once they realized that they couldn't really do anything about the one, the kid who's what I guess was the creator of Fushi. Maybe that's all I know for sure. I don't know if they created the world too. Maybe. Yeah, the Mizuha thing was like disturbing, and Yuki was kind of inspiring, but also sad and naive, but not naive. Just yeah, and the Fushi, yeah, I guess he gets all his vessels back because the knockers are dead, if I remember that correctly. I mean, the one took out the Mizuha knocker and then himself out again. So yeah, I don't know. It definitely like makes me think. And I don't even know what I'm thinking about, but I don't know how to describe this show because like I just ranked it pretty high on. I don't need to go into that. I did really enjoy this episode. I just, in the middle of it, I had to have a conversation about going to TC. Looks like I'll be heading out that way in April. Alright. The episode. Kind of goofy. When the dude showed up wearing the half costume and like this I feel like this has felt pretty fast paced most of the time. It's had a couple of slow moments here and there, but I was laughing at just like how drawn out it was and then just reacting to him in the background. So he was cool. I wonder if we'll get to see his fight with the eye guy, because I think he said the eye guy was just about to get serious. But then Megumin chases the receipt guy. I like his power. like bring alive receipts in ways, and like he can like get refreshed from like a spa receipt, and like also give the objects like basic commands. Knife fly towards this guy, or I guess trucks drive into this building. Who gets a receipt for a truck purchase? Anyways, and then the chase scenes are always really well done. The animation is mwah. Again, I mean it's been mwah, but this season goes hard, I feel. But then Megumin gets his domain expansion, so I guess we'll see that. That's cool. Been working on that, I guess. But yeah, exciting stuff. The poor girl, not the poor girl. She was like, I thought she was gonna be, I don't know. I was like maybe like he really wants her on the team, but yeah, she just kind of sucks. It's weird. I haven't watched the OP in a while, but I like watched through it today, and it hit differently like with all these scenes, and I did like a little like chuckle tear, if that makes sense. I don't know how to explain it's just like a laugh and a tear at the same time, like kind of forming. I don't know if it really fall like a full tear, but that happened like while she was singing in the OP, and then she sings in front of her aunt and her aunt's friend after asking her if it's a good thing or a bad thing to stand out. And yeah, I cried during those were real tears during the song. For a lot of this, I was thinking this episode really makes me want to talk about myself, but I've done that enough. And yeah, I really enjoy all the characters and the pacing. It's a little like sometimes I get caught off guard because it will occasionally move through scenes quickly and like time wise, but it does that for an effect, like in my opinion, like an emotional effect. And I really am a fan of how this story is crafted. This animation, music, 10 out of 10. Yeah, they were going hard with some of those scenes. I was like, how are they doing this? The Fern fight with her demon and Methode with her demon. Methode with her demon was probably the most completely lopsided, which then led to Fern's matchup being completely lopsided. It was. They were helping, Methode helped out Fern with the fog, and then Fern could just blop blop. And then the most struggle of a fight with Four-Blade Snake Man and Stark and Wing Magician. It's just the extremes of this show in terms of like it's very quiet, chill moments, and then it's we're going all out are very It somehow it does make the hype moments seem even more hype. So this might be hard to beat this week for top spot. Oh my god, I hate making this little ranking document and the timestamps and the points. The points aren't terrible. Well, it's all it just yeah. It takes a while to do all that. I guess we've made it to the end. The ranks have been up. Timestamps are up. Feel free to click around. I get if you have not seen all of these, so you want to avoid spoilers. And then points. Points are looking. Oh, it's a battle. It's a battle between. I'm ignoring. There's no freaking way I'll be your lover, and you don't know Gunma, but between Journal to Witch and Golden Kamuy, it is a battle for first place, and I don't know who's gonna get first.